We have a major Isaiah Hartenstein contract update, as it appears, according to Ian Begley, that the New York Knicks will be able to re-sign their breakout center, and we're going to break this down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. Welcome to day 3 of the offseason, people. I don't know if I'm going to keep saying that for every day, but it's a thing right now, and we're going to enjoy it. So let's jump right into the video, as we always do. Because on an article written from Ian Begley, he talks a lot about a few different Knicks and different contract extensions, and one of them is Isaiah Hartenstein. Now, we'll go into all of them in a few different videos, but right now we're focusing on Isaiah since there's new news on this, with basically Begley talking about how the Knicks have Hartenstein's early bird rights, and they can exceed the salary cap to re-sign him, but only to a specific amount, because they've only had him for 2 years, which means they have early bird rights, not just regular bird rights, which kick in after 3 years. So they can offer him a 4-year, $72.5 million contract, and you better believe they're going to offer him that exact contract. Now, Begley poses the question, will teams that have money like the 76ers, Orlando Magic, Detroit Pistons, Oklahoma City Thunder, Toronto Raptors, or Charlotte Hornets, who all project to have sizable cap space this summer, sign Hartenstein? Well, let's think about it. Obviously, the Sixers have Embiid. They're not spending on a backup center. Magic have enough bigs and needs shooting. Detroit has enough bigs and needs shot creation on the perimeter. OKC, maybe, but they could get a cheaper option for their bench instead of signing a starting center in Hartenstein. The Toronto Raptors, who they could be an option. And then the Charlotte Hornets, who have Mark Williams, who they really like. Now, as they mentioned, it's worth noting Orlando did have significant interest in Hartenstein when he was a free agent, but the Knicks obviously won the bid. But Orlando was aggressive, but Begley does mention he doesn't know if they're going to prioritize the center position in free agency between having guys like Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter Jr., Goga Bitadze, who will be healthy and is a great defender. They'll have options. Basically, I don't think there's going to be that much of a market for Hartenstein. Yeah, maybe the Toronto Raptors want to go for him, but I think they're going to be focused on re-signing their own players more than anything else, and this ties into what I was just talking about with the Magic, because we know the Magic are going to prioritize shooting, and there's been a lot of noise that they are going to go full throttle after one and only former Knick, my NBA 2K rival back from a few months ago, IQ Emmanuel Quickly. Our favorite newfie, Ben Rogers, did do a video on this on Raptors Digest, so make sure to check that one out. He breaks the whole thing down on whether the Magic would be able to get Quickly or how that situation is going to go down. So I'll leave that up to interpretation until you guys watch it. But really, what we're looking at is a situation where Isaiah Hartenstein is hitting free agency after having the best NBA season of his career. He broke out, became a full-time starting center for the first time, and did an excellent job. Yeah, he got kind of cooked by Joel Embiid, but it's Joel Embiid. Mitchell Robinson was there to be the backup and to do work on Embiid, and those two work as a center group. You don't need a specific starting center. You just need to give each of them 24 minutes per night, and if you can afford to do so salary-wise, you have 48 minutes of good center play. There is one team in the NBA who does, two teams in the NBA who does that other than the Knicks. The Minnesota Timberwolves, who are going to go on, in my opinion, win the NBA Finals this season, and the Milwaukee Bucks. And it only works for them because they also have Giannis at the 4. So when you look at things, the New York Knicks are going to do something that winners do. I love the idea of these two being 24-minute per game centers each. It'll protect Mitch from injuries. You can kind of stagger their minutes, maybe give one like 30 and the other 18 in specific matchups, and maybe just do even less than that, like 28-20, depending on matchups and who's hot and all that stuff. I think it has a great chance to work, especially because Hartenstein and Mitch are very open about being very close friends. The two get along great. Hartenstein did say in the Roommates podcast that he's friends with Mitch, and when Josh Hart said, "Are you actually friends with Mitch, or do you just say you're friends with Mitch?" And Hartenstein did say, "No, we're like actually super close." The two of them have regular phone calls after basketball games to talk about just the whole game, break it down from their position. And we've seen them become great friends. So I think they would not mind doing this. I think it would work. I think the Knicks would be one of the few teams with great rim protection for 48 minutes, which is massive in the modern NBA. So I would love for that situation to work out. However, there is a chance Mitch could get traded over the summer, or Hartenstein could get priced out of the Knicks' range. And then the Knicks will stick to Mitchell Robinson, which, if he could stay healthy, I'll be honest, I still kind of think Mitch is the better player. I think Hartenstein's a better fit with the Knicks. But if you ask me who's better at basketball today, it's Mitchell Robinson still. Just by this much. But Mitch is the better center in my opinion. So either way, it'll be okay for the Knicks. But as Begley mentions, Hartenstein's a small group of free agent centers for the Knicks this summer, including Jonas Valanciunas, who doesn't play a lick of defense, but he does look like Travis Kelce, which, I don't know, might be a plus. And Nick Claxton, who is a great defender, but I think the Nets will pull out all stops to bring him back so they don't resort to starting an unproven player such as Noah Clowney or Day'Ron Sharpe at the starting 5 spot. And also said that his re-signing was a factor in the approach to extension negotiations with Quickley when the Knicks lowballed him. Quickley said no. He wanted a certain amount of money. They didn't get the extension done. And look, 4 months later, Quickley got moved to Toronto. And Begley said that he assumes the Knicks and Hartenstein will agree on a deal and that New York can begin talking to him after the NBA Finals ends. That's the big news of the whole story, is that Hartenstein and the Knicks, it's expected that they get this deal done. I look so fat on camera right now. What the hell? Like, I'm not skinny, but geez, guys. I gotta hit the gym. But that's a completely separate note. Really, what we're looking at right now is Isaiah Hartenstein. He's gonna get paid, and he deserves it. He's been a great center for the Knicks. I love his high post playmaking. I think it works so well at this unit, especially when Julius comes back. I would like to see a little more action on the pick and rolls where he can go and fully roll, because the Knicks do too many pick and rolls where there's just that guy who sets the pick, then just kind of waits around and doesn't really move very far. And it was giving the Pacers a chance to really, stop, essentially, a switch from happening and getting Tyrese Haliburton matched up against literally Jalen Brunson every time, which is what the Knicks wanted, because Haliburton's not a great defender. It's fine. He's a good offensive player. Led the Pacers to beating the Knicks. As injured as we were, still happened. But look, I love this idea. I want Hartenstein back. He puts up great numbers. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 assists. He shoots 64% from the field. He went 1 for 3 or 2 for 6 from 3 that year. That's why he shoots exactly 33.3%. Has a 19.0 PER. He's been an excellent player. He does so much more than what the stats say. He's an elite offensive rebounder. The way he kicks the ball out is very impressive. He recently turned 26 years old, so he's only going to get better. I think the Knicks have to bring back Isaiah Hartenstein. I know I did say Mitchell Robinson is better around 2-3 minutes ago, and I stand by it. I'm not going to switch my opinion in 3 minutes. But as I said, I think Hartenstein's a better fit for the Knicks. If the Knicks realize that they're going to have to not have one of them on their team next year, you have to take Hartenstein back. He's more healthy, and he just has a better fit with this team. He's so tight with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and all them. He said he's very close with the Nova guys, and I don't think they're as tight with Mitch. Not that Mitch isn't one of their friends. Obviously, this Knicks team, they give the vibe of people who are friends with each other. But Hartenstein is a known close friend of the Nova Knicks. They came into the NBA at a similar time and all that stuff, so they got to know each other, or yada yada. Him and Brunson are second-round picks together, which can't believe teams let Brunson go to the second round. Come on. I don't know how you missed that one so blatantly. I get with Jokic, he was from Serbia. I understand that one. Brunson was in Villanova. I don't know how people missed that, but that's not even what this video is about. Something I do want to show you guys, though, is the fact that the New York Knicks had the 7th best opponent field goal at the rim, or less than 5 feet, with 61.6%. The only teams that were better were the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Chet Holmgren had some of the most blocks in the NBA this season. The Minnesota Timberwolves, who have Rudy Gobert, the Defensive Player of the Year. The Boston Celtics, who have Porzingis, who's one of the best low-block defenders in the NBA. The Grizzlies at some points had Jaren Jackson. Don't know how they did it when he wasn't there. Don't understand how the Nuggets did it, even though Aaron Gordon's a legit defender. And the Cavs have a double big man who are both good at defense lineup in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. The Knicks have one low-block defender in Isaiah Hartenstein. For the most part, Mitch wasn't there. This is mostly Hartenstein's work here, guys. He's just that good at protecting the rim. And when you factor in that high post playmaking, when you factor in the way he can get an offensive rebound and kick the ball back out, when you do that little push floater, Hartenstein fits with this New York Knicks unit. And I think the Knicks got to do any and everything to keep him, including, obviously, that means potentially having to trade Mitchell Robinson and giving Hartenstein that 4-year, $72.5 million deal. There's a real chance that in 2 years, people could be looking at that contract and be like, why did we not offer him money when we had cap space? Or done something about that. If you're the Clippers, you're just like, because, you picked Zubac over him. And I think Hartenstein's got another level or two to go to, which includes him hitting mid-range elbow shots. And I look forward to that happening. But guys, leave it in the comments down below. What do we think is going to happen? Is Hartenstein sticking around? Let me know. I love the discourse in the comments. Now is the time. It is NBA free agency day 3. We got a lot more days of this stuff. Free agency hasn't begun yet. The NBA season is still going strong-ish, but I don't really like any of the teams left, if I'm being honest. And outside of that, we got some draft content coming your guys' way. We're on that grind. No slowing down. 2 to 3 videos every day this offseason. And if I don't do that, well then Taj Gibson won't be president. But if I keep doing it, Taj Gibson might be president. And that's what matters. Taj Gibson for Prez. Have a great day. Go Knicks!